welcome to Guilt-Free Mind. I am Dr. Shruti, author and owner of guiltfreemind.com. If you hear anything in the background, well, that's Zeus, my puppy or dog. He's about to be a year old. All right. Alright, so the Guilt-Free Mind is your one-stop destination about everything pertaining to mental health and productivity. So go check it out. If you want to be more productive, that's your place to be. If you want to lead a life that's full of positivity and hope, again, that's your place to be. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and so that I can notify you every time a new blog post releases. If you are new here, welcome to my channel. I do hope that you hit that like button, subscribe button, and ring the notification bell and set it to all so that YouTube remembers to notify you every time a new video releases. I am Dr. Shruti. I mainly make videos on productivity and mental health. So because I feel that the two are very much connected. We are living in a world where stress is everywhere. So if we are not productive, if we are not efficient at our work, it will cause major levels of stress. And if there is stress, that hampers our mental health and pushes us towards anxiety and depression. This is why this channel focuses on productivity as well as mental health. So I release one video on productivity and productivity or mental health every week. So subscribe so that you never miss an update. All right, let's get into today's video, which is about the problems faced by highly logical people. Most people do go towards being illogical at some point or the other, but those who are highly logical, I mean, you'd think that they don't have problems, but trust me, they face their own share of problems. Because people around them are being illogical at times, and it becomes very hard to explain or even talk. Well, talking from personal experience, I am a highly logical person, and it sometimes becomes very difficult to talk when I keep asking people why this, why that, because this doesn't make sense, because there's no logic to it, and people are just like, oh, it is the way it is. And I'm like, I really don't understand this. And that causes confusion, that creates headaches, and that adds to the stress. So even though logical thinking is widely admired, there are a lot of challenges that come along with it as well. And those are the challenges that we are going to talk about in this video. So without any further ado, let's get into it. Point number 1, navigating emotions. Now, emotions are something that don't really follow a logical pattern. Like, yeah, okay, I understand that getting angry is not the point, is not the solution, but I still get angry. Problem with logical people is that it's like their brains get divided into these two halves. And one part of their brain tells them that there is no point getting angry because maybe the situation is not under your control. Maybe someone else did something stupid and you are just angry at that person. But since you're a logical person, you probably would have told that person at one point or the other that this might lead to this problem, or maybe this is something you should not do. They went against your advice, got into trouble, and now they are calling you up, and you don't want to get angry because at the end it's their choice, right? It's your choice whether you take the advice I give you in this video or not. But if you're someone close to me and I give you an advice and you don't take it, and then you land up in trouble and you're calling me for help, and then I am like, okay, one part of my brain says, see, it's that person's prerogative. They want to follow, they don't want to follow, it's their choice. Other part is like, why the hell did I even bother to give this person an advice when I knew that this person is not going to follow it? So anger defies logic. Emotions defy logic at times. So you can still feel angry or sad or frustrated with your with the things not going the way you want them to, because logically this should have worked out, but then it didn't, and now you're angry and your brain is like, there is no real need for you to be angry in this situation because it's not in your hands. You cannot do anything, but you're still angry. So it becomes quite difficult to cope with this emotional landscape of highs and lows, because your brain is like, it's like fighting amongst the different sections of your brain. Point number 2, the dilemma of overthinking. Now, overthinking is not something that I would say is restricted to people who are logical. Actually, those who don't use as much logic also get into the loop of overthinking, and for them it's probably a bit worse. But those who are logical and those who are thinking illogically, their overthinking patterns are just different. They both can overthink, but the patterns are just different because the person who's not really thinking logically, their overthinking will take them anywhere. They'll think that, okay, today is this, tomorrow that, and third day the world ends. Like that. Because they're not thinking logically. But the logical thinker will take it like 20 steps forward. Okay, if I say this, then that, based on the person's behavior, past behavior, they're most likely going to respond like this, to which I will say this, and then they will say this, and then I will say this, and then they will say this. And they will have the whole mental map of the conversation in their head, from start to end, and where it is going. Now, when they're talking to that person, it may follow that exact same route. Or when they're talking to that person, it may go in a completely different way. But this process of thinking, this process of thinking 20 steps ahead as to what is going to do and what I should be doing if that happens, is something they find hard to control because they are constantly analyzing and they're logical, and based on their past logic, based on the past proof and evidences that they have from someone's behavior, they are usually able to predict what is going to happen. And that also gets them in trouble. So basically, bottom line, try not to overthink. Now, if you're wondering how to actually get overthinking under control, I have this really amazing solution: brain dumping. I don't know if you've heard of that before. But if you are someone who thinks 20 steps ahead like I do, one thing that really helps is putting it all down, decluttering your mind. Just take a piece of pen, just take a piece of paper and a pen and start writing it down. Okay, I thought this, maybe then this will happen, maybe then that will happen, maybe then this will happen, maybe then that will happen. You may have alternate scenarios. Okay, what if this doesn't go this way? So put that mind map down on a paper or on your digital notebook or wherever you write your journal. On your journal, it should all go into your journal. Trust me, instead of having them all cluttered up in your head and giving rise to sprouting ideas from every angle, when you put it down on paper, you can actually look back and think more clearly and find out the most logical options out of them. Now, there is some which are more likely to occur than the others. So it'll be easier for you to narrow it down and to actually find a solution than to just keep looping it in your head and overthinking and leading to headaches or worse. Point number 3: communication challenges. Now, those who are very logical, it kind of becomes hard for them to talk to people because the other person may be illogical, as I said before. The person may be operating on an intuitive level, or they may be operating on an emotional level, and you are only operating on a logical level. So suppose your friend underwent a breakup, and now you go and tell that person, I already told you that guy was not the right one for you. See, these were these qualities, these qualities, these qualities, these qualities. All of these were bad and they were red flags and everything. You're done. You said your piece. And now you don't know why that person's so sad, because obviously this was meant to break up like today, tomorrow, or maybe a day after, but this is what the end result was supposed to be. You knew that from way back. But that person who went through the breakup is suffering. They don't want your logic at that point of time. They want help. They want someone to say, yes, I understand, I get your point, and it'll be okay. Instead, what did you do? You went and told them why they broke up. I told you this. So instead of being logical, you may come across as someone who's cold-hearted, very calculating, like you've calculated all the steps, like not in the negative sense, you've just calculated and it's all just black and white to you. But actually, the world is gray. People think more from their emotions than from logic. So you may be painted as someone who's very cold-hearted and very doesn't care about others' emotions, whereas you do care. You care because of that, and you wouldn't have thought so much about their relationship if you didn't care, right? You care, but that is how you come across. So it becomes difficult to communicate with people at times, being when you are highly logical, because emotions take a secondary, emotions become secondary when you're highly logical at times. Even when you are angry, as I said, you're constantly fighting with your brain because you're not supposed to be angry and because the situation can be rectified, but at the same time you're still pissed that it occurred at the first place itself and you didn't want it to occur and you'd taken measures for it to not occur. Logical people do not do well when things don't go as how their logical minds told them it will. Now, there are unforeseen circumstances everywhere. And, well, communication challenges. Point number 4: the perfectionism paradox. Well, you are highly logical, you see 10 steps ahead. What can possibly go wrong? With this, this actually gives rise to perfectionism. You can imagine in your head, like if I am designing my video setup like this, the table. So I need a light over there. Light cannot be over here, light cannot be over here. Now someone else may be ready to experiment with, okay, let's have the light here and shoot a piece of a video. Well, let's have the light there and shoot a piece of the video. Well, let's have light here and shoot a piece of the video. We will compare, contrast, find out which one's best and work with it. A highly logical person will think of all of that before. They need to do it before it's actually time to shoot the video. Not like, okay, today is the shooting day, today I'm sitting down over here, I'll check the light here, I'll check the light here, I'll check the light here, then decide. They have to have it done beforehand so that they are not wasting time. Also, highly logical people become more productive because of this reason, but also it gets them into the problem. If the light has to be over there, it has to be over there. If it's like a little bit this side, a little bit that side, a video is not right, because I know it could have been better and it's not better, so it's gonna be a flop, it's gonna be a useless video. And yeah, sometimes, as I said, emotions defy logic, anger comes into the picture, and then again that same perpetual fight of the brains continue. It becomes difficult for them to strike a balance between perfection and accepting that, okay, some parts of things may go wrong. Like while shooting a video, there may be someone who rings the doorbell and I may have to stop it and go. Now, I don't like it. I like to shoot my videos. I sit down, I shoot it, and I'm done. That's how I do it. There are no cuts and takes in my videos. So if you've ever seen a cut, if you've ever seen the scene change, that's actually because someone rang the doorbell. But yeah, I have learned to be okay with it. It took me a while. It cuts the flow. It reduces the speed. I have to reset my mind and come back to the work. But it's okay. It's something that's inevitable. So we'll work around that. But some people find it really hard, and they might get angry like this because the doorbell rang and because it was not even in their hands. It was something out of their control. But it hampered their work. It hampered their perfect work. So you get my point? That is how it works. But you have, as a logical person, you still have to understand that there will be things that are inevitable. You just have to work with it. Do the best you can. So, well, this is about it for this video. And I will see you guys in my next video. If you face other problems as a highly logical person, please put them down in the comment section as well. How do you deal with people when they are being illogical? And when you're like, this is so far off the mark? So let me know all of that in the comment section. Let's get a conversation going about this. So let's get a conversation going. How can highly logical people deal with others who are more emotionally driven, or live in fairy tale world, or want things to be a certain way, like, the way it would be the perfect world and stuff like that? So how do you cope with it? How do you deal with it? What are your coping mechanisms? Tell me. Put them down in the comment section and let's talk about it. I will see you guys in my next video. If you found this video insightful, please don't forget to leave a like, hit the subscribe button, ring that notification bell, send it to all, please, please, please. It doesn't take you 2 seconds and it helps me out with the algorithm so much. So thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you all. Bye. Take care.